Well, that's a first for me. I haven't seen a Fu Manchu on a car before, or ever. Welcome back to Don's Life. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining today. As part of my day job, I rent vehicles. I have to travel around the province and neighboring provinces, and I rent vehicles like the one behind me here, a 2020 Hyundai Tucson. So I rented it, and I'm going to give a renter's review of it. So let's check it out. Okay, on the inside here we have the gray interior, we have the cloth seats with the manual adjustments, nothing too special. We have a leather wrap steering wheel, which is cool, leather wrap shift knob. The ergonomics overall, fit the vehicle, looks pretty good. There are pretty large driver and passenger mirrors. What's funny about them though is you have to flick this manual switch to illuminate them. On the left side of the steering wheel you have your media controls, your hands-free. You can customize this mode button for your audio sources. That's alright. On the right side you have all your gauge cluster settings, access, as well as your cruise control adjustments. In the middle here you got a couple interesting buttons. You have drive mode, which will switch you to sport and regular. And then the second button here you'll see is for downhill brake control. So interesting to find that on this vehicle. You have a couple 12-volt sockets here, a USB input as well as an auxiliary input. The layout of all the buttons is pretty friendly and easy to find. On the outside we do have the LED daytime running lights, we have the fog lights. The instrument cluster is nothing too special, pretty standard, everything's where you need it to be. On the left though there are some safety features, so other than the illumination here, you have the cross-traffic blind spot warning system. You also have the lane departure warning system. You have traction control on or off, and because this one's the all-wheel drive model, you can set it to be forced and stay in all-wheel drive. So all-wheel drive lock on or off. On the headlight stock, nothing special here. Turn the fog lights on and off for your lights or have them in auto. On the right you have a wiper stock with lots of settings, but it's still manual. There's no rain sensor that I noticed. And you have the push button start and stop. This one's nice. It did have the heated steering wheel, 3-stage heated seats, all the standard climate controls you would expect. As we work our way up to the color touchscreen, there's a lot of customization that can take place in here. I'll just go through a few of them. So you can adjust your sound stage, you can customize your display. This one here does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is a bonus. A very nice feature to have, especially if you travel a lot. There's some more customization you can do with what you see on the home screen. My time's wrong, it says 6:21 a.m. I'm going to fix that in a bit. On the second screen here, you just swipe over. You do have a screensaver setting, so you can customize that, switch it to a digital or an analog clock or not have anything. This one does have some more advanced features earlier I alluded to, so you can customize some shortcut buttons as well as your steering wheel mode buttons can pick what sources you want selected. Maybe you don't want AM radio on there, for example. And then lastly, and I noticed this here when I clicked on storage, there's a little bit of space to save some voice memos. In the rear, we have heated seats for the rear passengers, which is a bonus. You don't see that on a vehicle like this often. We have the fold-down cup holders and armrest in the center. And there's the other heated seat. Up front, for the passenger, they don't get much to entertain them other than a glove box with a giant owner's manual. I didn't see a window sticker in here. I'll share those whenever I have them in my rental so you can see what the cost was. But this is interesting. There's this carbon fiber dress up. It's fake carbon fiber, but it looks like it's a vinyl wrap almost, that extends all the way across the dash. but it ends there. Why don't they have it extend into the door or flow through the rest of the vehicle? I'm not quite sure. It just seems odd. I think they could have went a little further. Standard unlock and lock with the remote, but there is a button on here to do the automatic hatch in the back, but this one doesn't have the motors for it, so you have to lift it by hand. Unless I'm doing it wrong, I'll try it again later. But in the back we have the 12-volt accessory adapter. We have no ability to fold down the seats from here. You have to do it from in the back. But underneath you do have storage for your spare, your jack, and maybe some other things you want to throw in there. Try it again here, holding it down like it says, pushing it twice, all that. Nothing happens. I have to walk up and lift it up. Oh well, not a big deal. But in the back, see that where's the carbon fiber? They could have continued it through. Anyway, flip the seat up. Make sure your headrest is retracted so the seat will lay flat. Other than that, there it is. So this one does have the 17-inch rims. I think there's 18s available. It has color-matched door handles. It has a color-matched rear spoiler wing on the top. This one's only a 2-liter 4-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic transmission. So not a lot of guts or glory, but it gets me to where I need to go for business travel. Overall though, not a bad looking compact SUV. And we can't forget the rear view camera. Little foggy. I don't know if it's dirty. I didn't think it was. Could be a little higher resolution, I think, but does the job. Here's a road noise test at highway speeds. I'd say the noise is pretty average. I've heard worse. Being from Canada, got to get some Tim Hortons, but what the heck is that? Points for customization or what? Let's do the cup holder test. A little bit floppy, but it should do. And let's get to our destination. So here's some Saskatchewan highway scenery for you. They call it Land of the Living Skies. Enjoy. Alright, our trip's come to an end. I have to return the vehicle. Again, this is from a renter's perspective, not a future owner. This isn't a vehicle that fits my lifestyle. I don't need a compact SUV at this point in my life. However, that being said, as a rental and using it for 2 tanks of gas to go to multiple cities, it was okay. 3 things I liked about it were the climate controls, heated seats, heated steering wheel were nice when I needed to use them or wanted to use them. Did a good job of keeping the average temperature on point instead of always adjusting it, as a lot of systems are like. The infotainment system was great, having Apple CarPlay, ease of use setup, bang on, not a problem there. And it was reasonably comfortable. I'd say it was okay, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad, so reasonably comfortable. 3 things I didn't like though, the road noise was a little high. The materials inside do feel quite cheap, and couple that with the road noise and making Bluetooth phone calls very echoey. I had to max out the volume on everything just to hear things properly, not just because of my age. And the thing I really didn't like about it was the lack of power. So even with the drive mode down here, when you put it into sport, I'm sure it's measurable on a piece of paper that there's an increase in throttle response. However, I didn't notice it. So for overtaking vehicles or passing them if they're driving in the pass lane, it's not going to impress you. Anyway, I've got to return it. If you like today's video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. I'm going to start a subset to all my videos, which will be about rental reviews. So I'll keep that going and set up playlists for that. Otherwise, keep in touch, keep watching Don's Life, and we'll talk to you later.